Hey everyone, this is Chase with TCG Bolt Kings. There's been a bit of news that dropped in the Flesh and Blood world, and I thought I would go into my take on it. It's a little bit different from the couple of people I've seen talk about it. So, just gonna pull up the information and we'll have a discussion. Okay, so here on my website, I've collated all this information directly from the Flesh and Blood Collector Center website. I'm starting to add all these resources onto my website here, and that dropped right as I was doing that, so I figured I would put that onto this page here. So I've gone ahead and copied all this information over. Now, Flesh and Blood, Legends of Story Studios have dropped the print run data for the unlimited printings from the first block, and the rest of the print data from the first edition printings from the Monarch block. So I just want to get into that a little bit. Welcome to Wraith. They show they've printed 248,000 booster boxes, which sounds like a lot, but it's the first set that was ever printed. There were only 16,700 boxes of the alpha printing, so that's a very small number. And I'm sure they wanted their big flagship set, their first set, to have plenty of market presence. Now, the next two sets, they actually cut down on the unlimited printings, which was surprising. But, you know, I'm sure they were getting that sales data from before the pandemic happened, where the game was fizzling just a little bit just because the hype from the first set had cut off. Crucible of War was a smaller set. But yeah, Arcane Rising unlimited print run of 179,000 booster boxes. And the real big one that I'm interested in, Crucible of War here, the unlimited print run of 125,000 booster boxes. This unlimited print run was the shortest of the three. They cut it off earlier than the other two. And you can see here, since I've put the data together, it's right next to each other. The Crucible of War unlimited print run is identical to the Monarch first edition print run. This is all the Crucible of War booster boxes that exist, so just over 150,000, 160,000 booster boxes. So yeah, a Crucible of War, I expect this to be a faster growing product, both as far as sealed boxes and like bulk prices, or, you know, commons from this set that will pop harder than Welcome to Wraith ones, because there's half as many of them, right? I went ahead and did the math for you, Bronson, so you don't have to. But, you know, Welcome to Wraith, 248 plus 16.7. There's 265,000 booster boxes of Welcome to Wraith, if you count the alpha and the unlimited, where there's only 160 in Crucible of War. That's 60% of the Welcome to Wraith print run. So yeah, the print run for the unlimited, identical to the Monarch first edition print run, very small. Crucible of War, I expect to be a very premium product going forward. This is too small for the demand now, and that's why prices are going up. I'm curious to see how the unlimited Crucible of War boxes and the Monarch first edition boxes go with each other as far as price. Right now, Crew boxes are about, what, 120, 130. Monarch boxes are about 150. They've both gone up a lot in the last few months as the market's dried up a little bit. I know the Monarch ones have cold foils. That's the main difference between them. I'm curious to see how those prices stay the same with each other or diverge or go in lockstep just based on the supply number. And then for the Monarch block, we already knew about the 125,000 Monarch first edition, but they've released Tales of Aria was 208,000 and Everfest was 229,000. Those seem like huge numbers. At the time, they probably were huge numbers. These were informed by pandemic hype demand and released during post-pandemic crash, lack of demand. The differences between these numbers and the market at the time are the genesis of the change to Fab 2.0, where they don't do first editions anymore, just because they were overprinting the first editions, which was making the unlimited editions superfluous. It'll be interesting to see. Like, we know Everfest Unlimited print run exists, but we don't know how it's all going to make it out to the market still. But yeah, I expect these, like, people were talking about these are printed too much, printed to oblivion, they're going to go to zero. They're still not priced super high, $70, $80 a box, maybe a little bit less than that sometimes. They're talking about sports cards and comics from the 90s. Look, those things, the demand has eventually risen to account for that supply. Like, the demand in 1991 for Topps base set cards did not meet the supply of 1991 Topps base set cards, but the demand for them now is much higher. That's an extreme example. You know, there's, you know, Revised in Chronicles, Ice Age from Magic, which is a little bit less of an extreme example, but those were overprinted for the demand of the time in a similar way, and now they're very much in demand. These are going to go the same way. It'll take a little bit longer to get there than, say, Crucible of War. This game isn't going away. It's growing. It's regrowing faster right now, if you can believe some of the other information that's being put out there. These products are not overprinted for long term. This demand is going to be, or this supply is going to be demanded. The demand will cease to be filled properly by this supply. Now, if they print 500,000 or 1 million unlimited of each of these and put it all out in the market, that may change. But that's where we're at right now. So that's interesting. Do you have any questions, any thoughts, any ideas? What do you feel about this? I thought the 125 at the time for Monarch was the proper number that they should put out, just based on the information that was available at the time. These numbers seem like they were too high for the time, but they're not unreasonable for the long term. But yeah, if you have any comments or questions or thoughts or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment below. Hit me a like. Check out my information on my website. I'm going to keep adding to it, and have a great day.